Hello guys, and welcome to day 19 of this full stack hospital management system. In today's video or day 19, we are going to look at the side of the patient in our application. So let's go into the patient side. So when you are patient, you see this dashboard, and then you can come here at the book appointment, and then you can see the doctors that you can book appointment with. So you can click on this booking, you can select certain doctor here, and then click on booking, and then you can select the day that you want to have an appointment with that doctor. And also now you can click here this book button here, so the booking will go to the doctor, and the doctor will be sent an email telling them that they have an appointment with a certain patient. So that's what we're going to do. So without much ado, remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also to like and to hit on the notification bell. So let's get into our tutorial today. So to start with, let's go to the admin side, because I want to make sure that we have doctors that we can select. So let's go to the admin side here. So and add the users who are doctors. So let's see, let it load. And then, so now let's look at here at the users and see if we have doctor. So if we click on here, you can see we have only the patient and reception. So I'll come here, and the first thing first, I create using my emails here. I just create a name here for the doctor. So I'll call this Dr. James K. And then here I'll just add the email. I'll be using one of my emails, so this one here. So let's see, and then I will create password for them. Remember, you can hide here, you can use input, and the type of this input should be password so that you can see. So now I'll just create this person here, and I will include password, and also I will include the, let me create a password, something of the sort, and then here I will select the doctor as a role, and then I will submit. So I'll create another doctor, and this time I'll call this doctor Lensri Do, something of the sort. And again, I will just use my emails. So let's see here, just like that. And then here in these passwords, I'll just use the same password so that I can't forget when I'll be logging in. So at this time, let's see, and then I'll just select doctor also, and then I'll just add. So in here, you can see now we have role as doctors, and this is rearranging because here we used these emails that are shorter, but you can collect this. You know what you can do, you can give these columns here defined length. So let's go back in our patient side now. So in here, let's open the patient side here. So let's go to the patient side, and I want first of all to fetch all the doctors here in our patient side, so that patient can be able to select the doctor who they want to add appointment or to book appointment with. So first thing first, let's go to our code here, and let's go to the patient side. So right now I'll close this reception here, and also I will just close these pipes here, and let's close this one here. Let me close this one here, and then let's look for the patient. So let's look for the module for the patient. So you can see here we have this patient here, and I want us now to go to the appointment here, this appointment here. So because this is where we have that functionality, we'll add that functionality. But even before I forget, I saw an error that is occurring. So when we were adding search pipe in the last video today, when I was starting my application, it gave me an error, and the error was because there was such pipe declaration in 2 modules, and this is because there were declaration in this app.module.es. It was here, it was added here, and also we had the same search pipe declared in inception. So what you can do is that you can delete from here the declaration for the search pipe in app.module.es, and now you'll be left with the one that is in the reception module or reception.module.es. So now we can come here and now start fetching. First of all, we start by fetching the doctor or doctors, and then we act on the functionality for booking an appointment. So without much ado, let's look at how we can do that. And this means that we need to have a reception, or we need to hook in a service for appointment, because we need to fetch, or we need to first of all inject the service for auth, because that one will give us the functionality or a method to fetch all the doctors from our database. So let's look at that service so that you not be confused. So let's look, where is the service? Our service is here. So in here we'll inject this service here, because you can see this one will have the functionality to get all doctors here, or the method to get all the doctors from our database. And this is the endpoint that will query all the doctors from our database. So let's go back in our patient here. First thing first, you know how to inject. So I will create this and say private and then auth service, just like that. And then I will call now, I give it the type of auth service from our services. So you can see the auto completion, so you can just import it and then it will be injected. So first thing first is to create a method. So I just say get doctors, just like that. And this method now, inside here now we can say this dot get doctors, and no, not that. I want to say auth service, and then dot get doctors. You can see the method. So get doctors, just like that. So I want first of all here to create that observable for the doctors. So I'll just say doctors, just like that, and then I will create that I will add that convention, and then I will make it nullable, and this time I'll just now add observable here. So this is an observable and it is add.xjs, so you can see it has been imported. So in here we'll give a generic, and this one will have a type of now the doctor. Let's see, now this one will be the doctor here. Let's see the doctor. So, and it should come from the interfaces. Oh, sorry for that. It should be the user or let's look at our interfaces and see which interface we can use. So it is inside here, the users, and it should be this one here, the register one, or we can use this one here, because I want to type it so that with strong type. So it will be this one here. We'll use this one, and let's add it here because it's the same. Doctors are just users who has the role of doctors. So let me add this register users, and it is an array of those doctors. So let's add that, and then let's see. So it should have been imported. So let's see if it has been imported. So don't see if you can't see if it has not imported that. So what can we do? Let's try again and just import. So register user, you can see it here in the interface. So I don't know if it is importing or what is happening. So let me first of all move upward and see. Okay, it is not it is not importing, so we just need to import ourselves. So in here, from now the interfaces, let's go up into our interfaces, and you can see interfaces here. So inside there, and I want to look at users. So now in here we can say register user, just like that. I think that will correct now. So that's a long process, but it's because the auto completion didn't import for us. So even what we can do, we can go to our services. So let's go to our service, or actually it is here, and look what the type of the data that we see that we need. So you can see here we need this, the data that has the type of or interface of register user here. So what next now is to get this, and or what we need to do is to now to assign this dot doctors. Let me create space there. So dot doctors, you can see it is unobservable, and then give it that type there. So the other thing is now to come here in this hook ng on it, and that what we can do, we can say this dot get doctors, just like that. So now we go into our HTML here, and here now we can start looping through our doctors, and we can list those doctors here. So let me first of all delete this, and we are left with one, because this one here will help us to just loop through the doctors. So as you know, you have done this couple of times. You need first of all to get the, you need to use the ng if and look if there is a doctor, and then we'll start looping it through it. We use a sync pipe as you know. So because I've done this couple of times, so this here we create another div, first div, and this first div is to use the async pipe. So if you don't know what the importance of async pipe, you can just go to Google and just see what that does, or what the importance of it is. So it is doctors, and this is an observable, and then what we can do, we can use async pipe. So async pipe, and assign that observable as doctors. Now that now is array of doctors. So inside it now, what we can do again, we can just check if we have doctors. So and to check if we have doctors, we'll use a directive of ng if, and now in here what we can do, we can check doctors dot length, just like that. And now after that, because I want to loop through, I can copy all of it, all of here, everything here, and you can cut it and then paste inside here. Let it paste it inside here, and then what I can do, I can format it here. So let us format there, and actually I want to zoom a little bit so that if this text are not large enough, you can be able to see it. So actually that's a little bit bigger. So let's go back. I think that font is okay. So that you can be able to see. So after that, now what we can see, or what we can do, is now we can stop looping through this collection of array here, and we can use now doctors here. And actually another thing that I can do is to rename this, and we can call this doctor, because it is doctor of doctors. And now, because now we can loop through doctors, what we can do now here, we can use text operation and use this as this one here. You can say doctor dot name here, and here we can add the doctor doctor.email or doctor.email. So again, here I want to show items per page 4. That's okay. So now I think that's okay. So we can just now save, yeah, and just check what will happen in our application. So in our application, I only see one doctor here. So let's reload and see where the problem is, because we expect to have two doctors, but even if it is one, there's something wrong with it, but we can use just that one. So let's see what is it is loading, and I see like my computer is slow. I think it's because it's running a lot of services. You can see down here. So let's see, it is compiling. So now let's see, and now before it stops compiling, or it completes compiling, let's see if it has finished compiling. So before we just wait for it to complete, what we can do, when you click here, you see we have this model that is helping us to just select the date and then click on booking. So what we can do here, we use two-way data binding, and we'll be using ng model so that we can bind and get now the two-way binding, so that we can get the date, because we need to get the dates. So you can see here it has loaded, but you can't get they are here, so it's okay. So we have the doctors, so it is taking time to fetch them, so it's okay. So it is loading, and then after some time, these are the doctors that we have added in our application. So when you click here, you can see we have this model that is helping us to click on the date, on the name here, on the date, and then click on the book. So what we will do here, so first thing first, we need to get the date, and to get the date I will be using two-way data binding. So I will come here, and to use that we need to import modules, forms modules. So in our patient.module.ts here, what I can do, I can add here, I'll add import, actually no, let me do here in my import. What I'll do, let me add forms module. You can see it is auto completing for us, so let us import it. You can see here we have this forms module imported for us. So inside here now, in our appointment, we have this model that is down here, and what we can do now, you can see we have this here, the input and the type is date. So what we can do, we can just say you can bind. First of all, we bind. So let us bind through this. So it is ng model. It is called ng models or ng model. So in here, we need to bind. First of all, we don't know what is happening here, so let's click that, and now we bind a property, and then inside that we now we bind this here, which is an event. So this is how the data binding works. You have seen I've used it when we were searching in reception side. So here I will create date, and to give this property date, I need to create that property in our component here. So in here, I will just create date, and then this one is a string, and I will just want to make it nullable also, so that when you click, now you can see. So when you click here, let's go back in our application here, so that when you click, so let's click here. My computer is really slow and I don't know what is happening. So when you click here, it needs to give us that model. So let me reload again. So let's first of all, before it finishes loading, so we can come here, and what we'll do, just say console log show booking.console log, and then date. I think that will be okay. No, I think actually let's first of all create a method or a function. So in here and in this button here, let's bind by this event of clicking this one, and then I'll create a method that we'll call book here. Let's get book. So in here we have that book. So in our component here, let's down here we need to create that book or booking. You can just say you can just call it what you want. So let's call this, let's do console log, and then in here we can say this date, so that we can see the dates that have been selected, so that we can use it now to book the appointment. So let's do that one. And so this one is still loading. See, my computer is really slow, so let us wait for it. So it has finished loading. So here when you click now and select the day here, so let me click on this book, and then we open our console, inspect here, and then in our console we should see in the dates. So let's let it open the inspect. So it's taking a lot of time, so let's give it time. So come here in our console here, and we should see. So yeah, you can see we have this date. So we can now actually, now we can even click another get another date. You can see here it has a lot of it is lagging. So you can see here. Okay, let's open here in our console again. So in here we can click and see, click another day, and then click on book, and then you should see it being printed here. So that's okay. So let's close this. So computer is lagging, it's lagging. So let's close this. So that's okay now. So we have that, we have the date, and now what we need to do is to create the appointment. And to create the appointment is to save the appointment into our database. So let me first of all format this code, so that we remove these extra spaces here. So format the code, and now the other thing that I need to do is to inject also the appointment service. So I just create another variable, and this time is appointment service here, and this appointment service here, we need to use it now. So what we can do down here in our booking, we can call it. So in here we can say this dot appointment service dot add appointment. You can see the function, and now in here we need several data. So first thing first, we need patient name, and also we need to get the doctor email and a string here, that is string, and the date, and the patient email here. So first thing first, we don't have the patient email, and also we don't have the patient name. So those one we'll get when we work on authentication or the logging in, so that we can get that data. So first of all, let's create patient email here. We just use a static data. So I'll just call this patient here something like Jane. Another thing I can add here is patient email, and this one we can add as Jane Doe at gmail.com, just like that. So let me click on that, and here you can see we have error. So this, I think I can need to add const here, and this one also we need to create const. We are using that one. So let's see. Patient is declared, but its value is never used. Okay, we are going to use it. So the other thing that I need is the date. Already we have date. Date is this one here. We're using two-way data binding. So the other thing that I need is to get the email for the doctor, because we need that also. So inside here in our HTML here, when you click on this show book, what we can do, what we will do is to get that. Let's come here. When you click on this show book, we now get the email. So I just pass doctor.email here, just like that. And again, I want to create a function here for closing, since we can't use this function because here we don't have to put the email, or we don't want to pass the email here. So in our appointment here, so first of all, let me create that close here, because I know I can forget that. So let me now first of all take this here, copy. Let's copy it. Let me copy it and then paste inside here. So I'm getting this error. I don't know why I'm getting this error. So, but let's first of all continue. So I want to format because we have a lot of extra spaces. So, but before that, now I need to accept the email here. So I need to accept the email here, and because here is the because we are not adding the appointment here, I want to create a variable up here. So I actually have this closed, that's why I'm getting that error, but I will correct that. So this is patient doctor email. Let me add another variable here, doctor email, doctor underscore email, and this one is a string, and it is nullable also. So now to avoid this error that I'm getting for closing, what I'll do, let me come here in my HTML also. Here I will use the first letter as capital letter, and also here I'll add this as now the first letter to be capital letter. So that's all. And then when now you click and get the email, we say this dot doctor email here, doctor email will be equal to this dot actually the email, not this. Sorry for that. So that's all here. So my formatting, and then so now you can see here the error here is gone. So in here, first thing you can see it is auto completion for us. An argument, we need to have the argument for patient name. So the first thing, it is patient name. Yeah, we add patient name just like that. The other argument, you can see we have the patient name, and here we need to have doctor's email, and now we can get that doctor's email by this dot doctor email. The other thing is that now we can get this dot, let's add the date here, this dot date, because that's the third argument, and the fourth one and the last one is the last one is here, which is this dot patient email. Now actually it is patient email, so patient email here. So that's all. I don't know why I'm still getting this error. And it's because these are email and email, those are duplicate. So just like that. So another thing that I need to do is now to subscribe. So to subscribe, and then after you have subscribed, have that value, and then let's console log here, console.log, and in here we have value just like that. So now let me format the code. So just like that, and then I'll try and book that. And when I book here, I want, after I have booked, we can reload the page. So we can do window and dot location and then dot reload just like that. So that's okay now. So now let's save that and let's go back into application here. So we need to restart this application. So let us see. So it is taking time. So let it load. So 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 you can see here it has completed loading. So you can click here now and select the date here, and then we will click on the booking here. So let's click on that and then it will load. So now what we can do is let's look at our database here, or in our workspace here. Let's look for this one here. So let's select from appointment table. Appointment should be appointment here. So let's click here and select the database. So here you can see I don't have. Okay, let me create another query so that I'll be able to select the database. So I don't know why it is not selecting. So let me create, actually this one is great now. We can create on hospital, and now we can do select from all, and select all from appointment table, just like that. Yes. So now let's run that, and we can see we have this table here. You can see we have 2 appointments here created for us. We have this appointment here, and also we have this appointment, and this is because I clicked 2 times before it reloaded. So our application is working. So now that's what I wanted to do there. So we have created the appointment, and because remember, in our doctor side here, we need to see now, we need to see the appointment that is for that certain doctor who has added, or the doctor who is currently logged in. So in here, you can see patient, and also you can see appointment here. So we need to get the appointment for here, this appointment here. So for that doctor, so for right now, we'll assume that the doctor who is logged in, because we don't have the data for the current logged in user, we just come here, and maybe we will assume that this doctor is called Jendo here. So what we can do now, let's go to the doctor side, and now we can work on this, getting the appointment from our database for that certain doctor. So let's come here now. So inside, so let's close this patient here, and let's go to the doctor side. So the doctor here, and let's go to appointment. So inside here, what we can do now, first thing first, I will create that email, and then I'll say this email is, let's add the jendo@gmail.com. So now, after that, now I want to get the appointment, and to do that, I want to add here, or to inject the appointment service. So appointment service, and it is a type of appointment service here. So after that, now we can come here and say get appointments here. So after that, inside here, first thing that we can do, you can say this dot appointment service dot, we need now to get the appointment. Right now I can't see that function, or that for getting the appointment for this one here. So let's look at our service and see if we have that. So in our appointment here, we only have this for adding appointment. And okay, I didn't create that one for getting the appointment here right now, but you can just add it yourself. I don't want to take a lot of time, so you can add it for yourself here. So, and again, so let's close here again. Let's go back into appointment component here. So that, okay, let me first of all delete this here. So I didn't create that, but you can create that for yourself. Just practicing. You can practice on that. Now you can get those appointments here. Don't want this project to take a lot of time. That's why I'll skip on that, so that we go on this side here for the patient now. On the patient, so let's come here, and in our patient here, let it load, and now we can just check for the the patient, or the treatment for this patient here. So what we can do now, let's go to our workspace here, and then first of all, let us select here for the diagnosis table, and let us see the treatment that have been added. So we will add another treatment so that we can be able to fetch it. So first thing first, so let's go back to application here and do that. Let's go back to the doctor side. So this is doctor side. So let it load. And now here let's add treatment. So this is a patient. So we need now another thing is that we need to add the patient. So reception, reception. So let's go to reception. Okay, so the reception is the one that is admitting the patient in this hospital. So let's create a patient here so that the doctor can be able to select that patient and then add treatment to them. So the first thing that we'll add here, we call this patient Jane, and then it is Jendo. And remember, you can bold on this text here because I'm feeling right now it's very small. So at gmail.com, and then the resident area, I just say Texas. The room number, I call MVR 003, and then admission number, I can write anything here, and also the ID number is anything here. So let's submit. So I think now we have added this patient, and then let me close that. So in here, so let us reload and see if we have that patient. So I can see this patient if they have been added, and I think it's because my services, my backend is not running or something. So we can see here it should have added. I don't know what is happening because it is running. So let me start my backend again. So here, so I just ls, and then let me start it again. So let it restart, and then you can see it here, so that we can add the patient, and then the doctor can select that patient and then add treatment to them. So now, first thing here, you can see James. Jane, we actually did Jane Doe, and then you can see Jane Doe at gmail.com, and then resident area is Texas, and then room number is MVR, admission number can be anything, and also the ID number can be anything. So after that, now we can click on this submit here. Okay, submit, and then let's first of all go and look for the patient. So here, patient, and then let us run, and you can see it is not adding. I don't know why it is not adding, and we created this functionality and it went through, and here you can see even it is printing for us the data here. So I don't know why it is not working, and I want to inspect and see what the problem is. We need to have some errors here. So here we can see, let's come here and look for this error here. So this error is telling us what yes, we have the object, yes, and then the response, yeah, the headers response for the okay, I can see where the problem is. Something went wrong, don't know what went wrong, so let me close on this, or actually for now, because we did this functionality, I won't do a lot to do with it. So what I can do now, just come here, and first of all, let me close that. Let's go to the doctor side here. Let me see this side of the doctor here, and see if we can select this. We'll be using this one here, this one patient here, because this reception side is not working. I don't know why it is not working. You can go ahead and look at what is not working, because we worked on it on previous tutorials. So let's add here. So I'll just come here and add the treatment. I'll say the treatment is maybe therapy. I don't know much about drugs and medicine, but I'll add anything. So here I can say Brufen. So doctor name, Dr. James. And here treatment description, went through therapy, and status, it's good. Let's add it's good. And the bill, yeah, you can see the bill is 13,500, and the date that treatment happened is the 10th of January 2023, and then let's submit. So when we submit here, let's see if we have created that diagnosis. So let's query diagnosis here, table, so you can see if it has been added. So right now you can see there's this one treatment that have been added here. And now what I'll do, so I go to the patient side and try and fetch. We'll assume that the email for this patient here is this one here. So is this email here, and I will just copy it. So let me copy this one. So let's go to the side of the patient here. So cross that, and inside this patient here in our home here is where I want to use that now. So to do that now, first thing I want to inject the diagnosis service. So I'd say private, and then diagnosis service, just like that, diagnosis service, and then I can get diagnosis service. I can import it just like that. Now first thing first, I create here a method. So down here I'll get a method and say get diagnosis here. And this method here, what we can do now is to get, can say this dot get, actually no, we need to do diagnosis, this dot diagnosis service, and then dot get diagnosis for user, just like that. But you can see here we need now to get the email. So here I just const and say email is equals to this email here. So just like that, and then in here now I can add the email just like that, and then you can say subscribe, and then after we have subscribed we can say actually no, that we can't. Let me stop that. And what I can do, because this is getting the to get the diagnosis, what we can do, we can create an observable. I forgot that. So we can say diagnosis here, diagnosis, and then what we can do, we can say diagnosis, and this one is an observable, and then we can create an observable here, and this observable has a generic that has a type of here the diagnosis, just like this one here from the interfaces, and then it's an array, and here we have that. So this one here also, it's an arrayable, so create a exclamation there. So let me see, yeah, it's okay now. So now to do that, now we can assign here, you can say this dot diagnosis here like that, and then we can assign it to this here, an observable, because this service and this method here, we return observable that have the type of diagnosis array. So we can get into this HTML here, and now inside here we will do we just delete this here. Let's delete this one here, and also let me delete this one here. So these two, this one and this one here. So first of all, let me format, because we have extra spaces here. So format this one. So let us format that. And now, before that, now you know what we do is that we create a div inside two divs. First of all, here, those two, and this first one here, we'll be using a directive. So this ng if, and this ng if here, what we can do, we can say diagnosis here, and we can add now this async pipe, and we can say as diagnosis, just like that. This one here, now what we can do, and say ng if, but this time here, this one will say diagnosis dot length, just like that. So now we can copy everything here. So let's copy this here and until there, and now we can copy everything inside here, just like that. So now we won't be getting from corrections here, we'll be getting from now the diagnosis here, and this one is item, it's okay, and here I want to show 4 items per page, that is. So that's what, let's see first of all if our application is still working. So let's go to the patient side, patient here. So this is patient side, so it is loading. I think it will take a lot of time, so let me close that first of all. So it is loading, and let's see if it will get a diagnosis for us for this patient here. So it is loading, so let's wait and see. So it's loading, and let me see, yeah, you can see here we are loading, and we can't get them here. So I don't know what the problem is, but let's look at our, what we need to do is let's look at our stop procedure and see how our stop procedure works. And let's see here, actually we are getting them here. You can see we are getting them, but we are not looking through them. So what's the problem? Don't know where the problem is. We are getting we are getting here. So let's see, and here it's not working for us. So let's see what is here and what is happening. So meaning everything is working okay, but we can't get the treatment here and we are using that email. So now let's try and use that. Let's go and look for the stop procedure first of all. So stop procedure backend, and then here source DB, and in here let's look at the diagnosis, and then you can see get diagnosis for user, this one here. So I copy this and copy it here, come into our workspace, and in here what I will do now, just take that, and to execute stop procedure need to use this exec stop procedure, and we have an argument that is email here. Actually it is at email, use at email, and this one I'll be using this email here, this one, copy, and then paste. I'll paste it here because this is part of debugging. So let us debug, and in here you can see it is getting us it is getting us the treatment down here. So actually now let me first of all remove this one character here and see if it is working. You can see it is not working. So we should be getting the treatment in our patient side here. So I don't know why it is not working. So let's go back into our patient here. So this is our patient here, and I don't know why it is not working for us. So this is the diagnosis. Actually, what we can do now, the easiest thing is, first of all, here, let me remove this, and actually let me remove this here, and we can say .subscribe so that we can try and print that data in our front end. So var, and then we can add here. So we can say console log dot value or value, well, that is. So let's close that, and here what we can do now is to open the inspect here, and then we go to console and look as if we get those treatment console logged or in our in our console here. So to do that, let me reload again. So it is reloading for us, so it's recompiling. So after, if it is getting the treatment, they should be added here, or they should be gotten here, or they should be printed here. So let's see. Let's wait it to reload, and after it has loaded, we need to see the treatment now. So let's wait. So it is working, it's working, it's reloading, and then now after that, let's look at that, reconnect, and we can't see anything. Actually, there's nothing, and I actually know what the problem is, and it is my mistake. So the mistake that I did here, let me remove that, and let's go back here. What I never did, I never called that function here, and you can see that is a very silly mistake. So this dot get here, get diagnosis here. So that's one of the silly mistakes that I do a lot of time, and you find yourself doing too. So let our application reload now, and right now, because we are not expecting it not to work, so let me close this here. So let's see. So it is reloading. It is reloading again. So it should be working. So let us wait as it is reloading. So you can see here now we are getting the treatments here. So now what we can do is to just come here and now get that and text interpolation, so that we can get each and specific one rather than statically using this text here. So let us use this as, we call this diagnosis dot the name, treatment name, treatment underscore name. I think that is the name, and then we have diagnosis dot treatment underscore actually it is drug, I forgot, drug underscore administered, just like that. Then here can say here this one, actually this is, can say diagnosis dot doctor underscore name here. Actually now we can say diagnosis dot bill, and the last one here is diagnosis dot date, just like that. So let me close and then let us reload so that we see the information here now. So let us reload this again. So you can see here we have error, and this is telling us that we don't have these values here. So we just take here, and the first one is name treatment. So let's change that. This one is name, actually is name underscore treatment, just like that. And then the other one is drug underscore administered. I think this one is okay, administered. And then doctor name, we have doctor. We don't have doctor email here. Doctor name, the bill, and the date. That's okay now. So I think that will work now. So the property does not exist on type diagnosis. This one, I don't know why it is not working here. So name treatment, or it is treatment. So I don't know why it is not working here. So let us reload, because I think now this one is not my mistake. So let's see. So this one does not exist, and I don't know why it is not working. So let us see name treatment. Actually, let me first of all remove it, just like that, and see it doesn't exist. How? So okay, let me reload again and see where the problem is coming from. So it does reload. So I think we have a problem with our interface. So let's go back and look at our interface. So inside here in our interface, I think this one is the one that have problem, but you can see here it is okay. And so I will be copying everything from here so that you see if this is the problem, where the problem is. So copy this. So let me come here, copy this one here. Let's copy it. Actually, we can just copy. And then in our treatment here, we can add that this one is, let's do text interpolation. You can say diagnosis dot this one here, and here, and then the other thing is this drug administered here. So drug administered, just like that, and I just Control C. Then inside here, what I do, I just copy or just paste that there. So let us now save and then reload and see if application will be working. So let it reload. So you can see here we have this error here, and this error I don't know where it is coming from, but I will go back and look what is happening and what is wrong, and we'll come and discuss this on the next video and see how we can just check on the where this error is coming from. So without much ado, I'm feeling like this tutorial is getting longer and I'm feeling tired. So I'll see you in the next video and the last video of this series. So thank you guys for coming all this way, and let us see each other in the last video. Have a great day. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment on these videos.